but has always to be the leader of the National Grand Coalition NGC party in Parliament, Honorable Dr. Kande Yumkela, think other way, and according to him, now this situation, the appointed neck boss, not they run for make them vote for him as MP, but na appointment he gets.
Section 32, particularly 32(4), A and B. We spent a lot of time looking at 76B. We set up a team of 5 lawyers, and my lawyers are very tough. Most times they disagree. In this case, I insisted on a legal brief. In this case, they believe, that's their firm legal opinion, that 76B, which is the most contentious issue, in their opinion, does not apply in this case. We speak as NGC. I spent hours with those lawyers. In different debates. We organized Zoom calls with some others. We looked at the politics of this position. We looked at the legality. 76B, it's been read before. We are persuaded by the last line. Last line of 76B says, officer or employee, I quote, officer or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to Parliament. We are persuaded. That unless you're clairvoyant, you cannot know that you will be appointed 12 months hence.
That is the most stupid argument ever. That just because somebody cannot know or would not know that he's going to be appointed for a position where the Constitution makes very clearly what standards, what criteria should be met for that person to be appointed into that position. And I'm going to show you guys the Constitution. But this shows the level of stupidity and ignorance within the well of Parliament itself, that none of these people will not be able to see that that statement in itself, just because I did not know that I'll be appointed into a position that says that I should have been out of office as a public officer for 12 months. And I'm going to show you guys the Constitution. Let's leave that for now. But just based on that alone, I want you guys to see the level of, just absolute nonchalance on the part of these guys, especially on the opposition, which the opposition made a good argument. Like Honorable Cherry Coco and the APC at the time. They made a great argument. But this point that this man is making, Kande Yumkela, it just shows us when people, all this PhD nonsense is crap. When this man for can't tell me, said, just because Mohamed Kanawi Kande does not know that he was going to be appointed, therefore, that aspect of the Constitution should not apply to him. That's the most stupid thing ever. But let's continue, because I don't want to interrupt this. I want you guys to listen to everything. So when I start breaking down my points, that's why I say write down the section of the Constitution we're going to talk about. Section 32, subsection 4, and section 76, 1B. Those are the two sections we're going to focus on for the purposes of bringing this live together. But I want you guys to understand again, the reason why I'm doing this live is to show you guys how Kande Yumkela, Honorable Kande Yumkela, PhD, played a role in the appointment of Mohamed Kanawi Kone today, who has caused our people so much pain. The registration process is a mess. The elections itself is questionable at this particular point in time. We're talking about boundary delimitations, all of that stuff, PR system being proposed, all of that stuff. Kande Yumkela is silenced throughout this whole thing. I'm going to break these things down for you guys because I want you guys to see where I'm going with this. But I want you to listen to his argument in Parliament so you understand exactly what it is. Listen.
We've also seen presidents where others resign before just being appointed. Now,
what Kande Yumkela is saying there He's saying just because in the past they've seen other people who just resigned their position, got appointed, so it's okay in this case for him to do the same thing. So two wrongs make a right, right? Well, we know two wrongs don't make a right.
They said two wrongs don't make it right.
So he's saying because it has happened where other people resigned and they were immediately appointed for other positions that they were not supposed to be appointed for, then he's making it okay that in the case of Mohamed Kanawi Kone, then it's a go. Because they've done it before, there's been precedents. So therefore, it's okay for Mohamed Kanawi Kone to be approved. He's making a case for Mohamed Kanawi Kone to be approved as SNEC commissioner. I'm going to take you guys again to Mohamed Kanawi Kone himself, so you guys can understand exactly what it is, his position that he held prior, and everything that happened, so you guys can see where we're going. But pay attention to what Kane Yum Kela is saying.
There was an exchange here that indeed, if we have this.
And by the way, I know somebody might have tagged Kane Yum Kela on this. If he wants to come and debate me on this one, let him come right now and tell me, make a comment on that. I'll give him a number to call so he can be a part of this debate right here, right now. Right here, right now. Let's continue.
Disagreement on interpretation of the Constitution, we should go to the Supreme Court.
The leader of the coalition.
That's it. That's Kane Yum Kela's point. All right? Because I'm not going to even listen to this other guy who's the C4C guy. Well, that's Kane Yum Kela's argument. Kane Yum Kela mentioned that section 76(1)(b), which I'm going to put on the screen because I want you guys to see that. So this is the section of the Constitution that Kane Yum Kela referenced in the debate in the Well of Parliament to verify the reason why Mohamed Kanawi Kone should be appointed as a commissioner. Let's read 1b. What does 1 say? No person shall be qualified for election as a member of Parliament if he is a member of any commission established under this Constitution, or a member of the armed forces of the Republic, or a public officer. And in this case, it is the public officer that applies to Mohamed Kanawi Kone. And we'll get there. But I want you guys to see this. Pay attention, everybody. Or an employee of a public corporation established by an act of Parliament, or as being such a member, officer, or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to Parliament. This was Kane Yum Kela's argument. Black and white now, guys. This is the stipulation. This is a disqualifier for anybody for become a member of Parliament. But now, let me take you to section 32, which is going to break this whole thing down so you guys can understand. Section 32(4). That's where I'm going to take you now. Now, what does subsection 4 say? Let's read this together. Subsection 4a, right? This is what it says. I want you guys to pay attention. You know, I'm tired of these guys bastardizing, circumventing, altering our Constitution to suit their desired objective or their goals. The Constitution is black and white. I don't need to be a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be a lawyer to understand the dictates of the Constitution. It's plain, it's black and white, it is in English. That's it. It says, a person shall not be qualified for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission if he is not qualified to be elected as a member of Parliament. A simple English. It says, this person, any person, no go qualify for be a member of the Electoral Commission if you're not qualified for become a member of Parliament. That for let anybody become a member of the Electoral Commission, especially from the commissioner now in the regional commissioners and all of that stuff, for let them become eligible or qualify for all that position within the commission. Therefore, ensure say they meet the qualifications also for becoming a member of Parliament. It's simple. So if that's what the Constitution says, stick with the Constitution. Now, Kane Yum Kela went to section 76. Let's go back there. But section 32, don't you say, for let anybody, again, for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission, if he is not qualified, a person shall not be qualified for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission if he is not qualified to be elected as a member of parliament. It means that if you don't meet the qualifications, we stipulate for them to become a member of parliament, these are the requirements. It says anybody will fall within that category don't qualify at the same time for belong to the Electoral Commission. That's what it's in the Constitution. It's no ifs, no buts, no extra cushion. It's straightforward. It says anybody for them to approve you. I mean, I talk Creole because I know the international partners are watching this too, but I want my brother and sister to understand that the break up and Creole. For them you qualify for being a member of parliament, you for meet certain criteria. It says so anybody will not qualify for meet the requirement for become a member of parliament. Now the same rule now apply to the Electoral Commission. The same rule. It's the same. It's applicable. It's the same. The same. It say if this you don't meet this requirement now for become a member of parliament, then it's the same rule that applies for you don't become an electoral commissioner or a commissioner within the Electoral Commission. Now the same rule. It said this rule now apply now. Now the same rule is what they apply now. There is no two ways to this. But can they even say consult with your lawyers? I would love to know those lawyers. And guys, these are the things where some of us we want to get into conversations with. At a later date, we're going to get there. I want to know the bottom of these facts. The rule says you have to meet these requirements to become a member of parliament. And the same rule says for you to become an electoral commissioner, you have to meet the same rule that states to become a member of parliament. Right here, right here. That's it. 1, 2. Become a member of parliament, now they rule this. To become electoral commissioner, they rule this. The same rule to the same. The same rule is what's applicable. I don't know why these guys are doing this to our people in Sierra Leone. I don't know why they continue to do this kind of a thing to a democracy. What do you have to meet to be elected as a member of parliament? Now it says disqualification for membership of parliament. I want you guys to take your time to understand these facts, these things. Now, disqualifications for membership of parliament. What does it say? Subsection B. No person shall be qualified for election as a member of parliament. Guys, now English. Plain English people sound like a Creole. No person, nobody, no will qualify for election as a member of parliament if he is a member of any commission established under this constitution, or a member of the armed forces of the republic, or a public officer, or an employee of a public corporation established by an act of parliament, or has been such a member, officer, or employee within 12 months prior to the date of which he seeks to be elected to parliament. Kande Yumkela, in his submission there, is saying, oh, well, because Mohamed Kanawe cannot be no saying go appoint him, so we're not going to use this statute in the constitution. Guys, are you listening? Oh, Mohamed Kanawe did not know that he was going to be appointed as a net commissioner. Therefore, we cannot go according to what the constitution says. We cannot follow the dictates of the constitution because Mohamed Kanawe did not know that he was going to be appointed as a commissioner. Now, man is going to get PhD, even though the PhD is agriculture and economics. Because again, just having the PhD is one thing. Agriculture and economics. What agriculture we don't embark on? What side don't multiply? What you don't grow? What you don't sell for we? Agriculture and economics. If I turn with cacao to chocolate, what you don't do for we? Right? Let's leave that. This is a man who is very intelligent. He don't work in the international community. I supported this man fervently. I said this man will make a change in Sierra Leone. Now this kind of man, I India today. I'm so disappointed. And they break down what they say now. Basic Creole. The average brother man said that Donkey Jimmy understand this part of the constitution. It says any member or has been such a member of officer or employee within 12 months. What did it say there? It say for let anybody. Let's take example. Let's take one member of parliament. He didn't have parliament right now. They want to appoint as net commissioner. They meet the qualification. Why not meet the qualification? Because if I don't come out of parliament at least 12 months to determine they want to appoint them. So if I'm out of office for 1 year, you know what you do? Because we want to take away parties and hacks. Even though that will not change the person, because some people, who they are is who they are, which is Mohamed Kanawe as an example. But I'm starting with this kind of Yumkela first because I want you guys to see, before I go to Mohamed Kanawe, I want you guys to see, Mohamed Kanawe was a public officer. He was working for the states, for Sierra Leone, as the Director General of the Financial Intelligence Unit. Therefore, as In the constitution, it states you will be disqualified for membership in parliament if you've not derelicted or left your position as a public officer for 12 months to the term of appoint you. So 1 year back, if for instance, 1 year, you're not in no government, you don't get no government job. Basically, where everything is stipulated here. Not a member of any commission established under this constitution. It means say you cannot just take somebody right now, we in another government position, you go make a NEC commissioner. You don't go take Francis Benkaifala as an example, like ACC commissioner, you go make a NEC commissioner. You cannot do that because he's already working for an established commission that was elected by parliament. That is what the constitution says. And I'm trying to take my time, guys, so I can explain these things. But these guys bastardized that constitution. Kande Yumkela contributed to it. And I feel sorry for NGC people when they support NGC today. And if you were one person that still supports NGC because of me, back in the day when I supported Kande Yumkela, leave that party alone, because if anything, the sufferings you guys are going through, Kande Yumkela is part of it. Not every Kande Yumkela can condemn Marabio, but before it back Marabio. But look at what he did to our constitution. The constitution says, as long as person has been such a member, officer, or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to parliament. Now, so the law says, when you come back to section 32, it makes it very clear. Section 32(4), it says, a person shall not be qualified for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission if he is not qualified to be elected as a member of parliament. Well, you see how the two connect themselves? If you don't meet the requirements to become a member of parliament, it says the same rule applies to you becoming a member of the commission. This is the constitution, guys. It's black and white. I don't know what's so hard. Therefore, the 78 members of parliament that will vote for make Mohamed Kanawe Kone become the next commissioner, they've committed, they've altered the constitution. Section 108, subsection 8 applies to them. Your vote will be questioned when the time is right. Kande Yumkela supported Mohamed Kanawe Kone. The constitution is very clear. It's straightforward. To the point. It says, section 32, subsection 4, a person shall not be qualified for appointment as a member of the Electoral Commission if he is not qualified to be elected as a member of parliament. And then you go to section 76, it talks about what will disqualify you for becoming a member of parliament. When the constitution don't make it clear, say, for letting you become an electoral commissioner, you have to meet the same requirements with a member for letting somebody become a member of parliament for meet. The same criteria. You have to meet the same criteria to become a member of parliament. The same criteria to become an electoral commissioner or commissioner within the electoral commission. It is the same thing. That's what it says. It is the same law that applies across the board. No matter how you flip it, you make and so, you make and so, you make and so. It is the same law. This law says for you to qualify as electoral commissioner, you have to meet the requirements of you becoming qualified for becoming a member of parliament. Rocket science? No. Section 76, it says, no person shall be qualified for election as a member of parliament if he is a member of any commission established under this constitution, or a member of the armed forces of the republic, or a public officer, or an employee of a public corporation established by an act of parliament. It's simple. Then the last line, what can I use for supporting argument? It say, or has been such a member, officer, or employee within 12 months prior to the date on which he seeks to be elected to parliament. Why can't the Yumkela feel say, therefore twist and turn this part of the constitution? Say, therefore apply to Mohamed Kanawe Kone. Because when you look back at Kande Yumkela's argument, it is the most foolish, stupid, condescending, very disrespectful argument, because it's for people like myself, it's very disrespectful to our intelligence. And the reason why I said I'm doing this live is for come and talk about Mohamed Kanawe Kone, show that the registration process, show that the verification process, how nonsense the whole thing was. But I want you guys to see where we started. Kande Yumkela supported the voting of Mohamed Kanawe Kone to become the electoral commissioner. They twisted the constitution. And let me take you guys to section 108 of the constitution. What does it say? I want you guys to see it in real time. Section 108.8. Guys, right here. This is what it says. Let me highlight it for you guys. Any suspension, alteration, or repeal of this constitution, other than on the authority of Parliament, shall be deemed as an act of treason. Than that of Parliament. So the same Parliament that should protect this constitution are the ones that are destroying this constitution. Basically, that's what it's saying. Because when people are Kande Yumkela twist the constitution to say because Mohammed Kanawi Kone did not know that he was going to be appointed as NEC commissioner, therefore the constitution should not apply to him. That's what Kande Yumkela say. When the constitution make it very clear, for say for they qualify for become a member of Parliament, you for not exit your office for at least 12 months at the time. But they even went ahead to amend the constitution so that they changed it from 12 months to 6 months after the fact, because they know they've committed a crime. But this is section 76, 1B. Now that you guys understand where I'm going with this, let me move now to Mohammed Kanawi Kone. Let me show you guys the FIU. This is the FIU, Financial Intelligence Unit. This is their website. It is a government entity. Mohammed Kanawi Kone was a public officer. It was the director of the FIU. But now, how did Mohammed Kanawi Kone come into being? Now that we all say Mohammed Kanawi Kone is not qualified, was not qualified to become the NEC commissioner. Everybody knows that now. But this is the FIU, Financial Intelligence Unit. Why was the FIU set up?